You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis.
What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you?
It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Happy Hump Day, middle of the summer. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their summer. It's going fast. So thank you for checking out the show. Thank you for being part of the show. However you are taking part in it, we definitely do appreciate it. If you're watching live on YouTube, thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and all those kind of fun things. If you have, thank you. If you have not, please do so ASAP and tell a friend or two or 10 or 100 about what we're doing each and every day. at 10 a.m. right here in the Quad Cities. So also stay interactive. Our YouTube chat is up and going every single day. So whether you're watching it live or it's later on and you're watching this in the evening or whatever, go to the YouTube channel and go to the YouTube chat and weigh in, ask questions, complaints, comments, all of those kind of things are all welcome as well. We're also live on X. X has been very, very good to us. We appreciate everybody who watches on X, and we're also streaming on the WHO streaming app. The first hour of the show every single day for our viewers in Central Iowa, almost a year doing it with WHO in Central Iowa. So we appreciate our viewers in Central Iowa, wherever you are. We always appreciate anybody who is checking out the show. And also, I always tell people, make sure you listen to the show as well. You don't have to look at this every single day. All of the podcasting platforms, whether it's Spotify, iHeart, Podbean, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, put in Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, and you can listen to the show when you're out running or cutting grass or running your kids around like I do all the time. Whatever you're doing, you can listen to the show each and every day as well. It is July 15th. It is a Wednesday. We appreciate you guys doing this and being here with us. It's been a busy week so far. Yesterday we had Jack Heflin on the show. If you missed that, go check it out. Jack from Prophetstown, Illinois, getting ready for year number 6 in the NFL, and his journey to the NFL is awesome. From walk on at Northern Illinois to playing at Iowa, and then to making his way in the NFL. So go listen to that show. Also, Monday's show with Tom Kakert, very interesting as well. So check that out. Tom was on that day. John Marks was on that day. Bill Seals from the Cyclone Report was on that day as well. So a busy Monday show. Go check that out as well. Coming up tomorrow on the show, I'm excited to have Frank Garza on the show tomorrow. Luca and Frank are getting ready to have a couple basketball camps coming up in early August around the state of Iowa. So we're going to talk to him about that and get his thoughts on Iowa basketball and those types of things. Luca will be on the show first week of August. So we'll talk with Frank tomorrow, Luca coming up in August. So Iowa basketball fans, take note. Also, there's an open media practice right now. I shouldn't say right now. In about 45 minutes in Iowa City. We'll hopefully catch up. I'm going to try to snag Tyler Tashman back from vacation, see if he'll hop on with us tomorrow as well, and a whole bunch more. So tomorrow's show, absolutely loaded. No show Friday, no show next week. We're going on vacation. So no shows next week. We'll be back the following week, and then we ramp into August and football season, and we're ready to rock and roll, and things will be a lot of fun as well. Also, so today's show coming up in just a matter of moments, a very familiar face around sports here in the Quad Cities. Somebody I got to work with, somebody that used to hate me. Don't talk. We'll get to you in a second. Is actually in studio. And I haven't had people in the studio for a while, so I'm excited about that. He's going to talk, we'll talk some, Brian Sotcking is who I'm talking about. We're going to talk some baseball, softball on the Iowa side. That's hit the stretch run. We'll talk some high school football coming up, in the, both sides of the river. That is Cyclones, Iowa, a whole bunch more. Also, coming up in the show, and you guys got to check this out. There was a year, probably 3 years ago, we did a little thing on Facebook called Stockpile Snacks. Stockpile is the pickiest eater you'll ever meet in your life. And so we would make him try 2 or 3 different things each week after our score on Friday. We're going to do that again today. We got 3 items. We're going to make Stockpile try. If he doesn't like it, I got a trash bag here in case he doesn't, but they're really simple items. I don't have like an octopus or something like that for him to eat. It's just normal food that every human being eats all the time. We're going to make Stockpile do that as well. Also, we have your FCA Story of the Week involving a legend out in Bureau County, Kevin Hieronmyus. He's stepping down after 42 years, retiring after 42 years. So that is coming up on the show as well. So a lot to get to on today's show. It was the All-Star game last night. The AL beating the NL 4-0, the final in that one. And it's a weird time of year right now. All-Star break for Major League Baseball. Not much else going on. NFL camps haven't hit. There is some NBA games today, but when it's a weird time of year, you got to go find your weird buddies to talk a little sports. So joining us now, the one and only Brian Sotcking, back in studio.
Yes.
This is your second time out here, right?
I think
Third?
third.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. We made the trip out to Milan, Andalusia.
Yep. So Taylor Ridge is like 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
Andalusia is like a couple miles away. We're in Milan, but yeah, it's like you look around and you come in and they got hay bales in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
I was wondering, are you branching out into farming hay? Or?
No, I wish. I need to get my kids doing some of that stuff, but no, it's a beautiful area out here.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
All the corn and that reminds me of Port Byron.
Yeah, there you go.
Old Port Byron. I live in the city, but
Brian Stocking, for anybody who doesn't know, for our viewers in Central Iowa that might not know Brian Stocking, you have been part of the sports scene in the Quad Cities.
This will be my 30th year. I was
going to say for 30 years, isn't it? Wow. And he's
some people in Central Iowa might remember. I went to Iowa State. I worked in media relations my last 2 years.
I doubt anybody in Central Iowa.
You don't.
If they do, they've been trying to forget you for the last 3 decades. Now this brought up a bad memory. No, I'm teasing. I just want to talk to you about your past real fast before we talk about what's going on. Obviously, covering high school sports for 30 years, for a big chunk of those over at KWQC for the Highlight Zone and Dan Pearson.
21.
Dan's going to be on the show later on with the FCA Story of the Week, and then more recently, we worked together probably 5-6 years.
No,
not that many.
I just finished my 8th year. This will be my 9th year at WQAD.
Okay, so 7.
So 7, yeah. We worked 7 years, and
wow.
You didn't
and
lose all your hair.
You used to hate me.
No, I never hated you.
Stockpile. We were competitors.
Yes, we were competitors for 21 years.
And look at us now. We're the best of friends.
And then I worked at WQAD for 7 years. I've been teaching. This will be my 30th year of teaching in Davenport. So it's it's a good run. I hope it to continue it for many years.
Yeah. So Stockpile is the wizard when it comes to getting scores in, getting everything done on a Friday night. Loves high school sports.
Yep.
Where'd that love come from?
Well, when I was growing up, we didn't have that. There was sports on TV, but not like there is now. And when you would read the Quad City Times or Molding Dispatch like you did when you were a kid, they had a good chunk of their coverage was high school sports. So I got to read about the high school football games on Friday. And it wasn't just the game on Friday and maybe the story on Saturday.
Yeah,
there was lead up to the games. There was lead up, and then all the basketball games in the winter, and then spring sports and summer sports. So you would get a good. So you always, there was always seemingly a story or two, and then, the local sports at that time, this was pre Dan Pearson even. So you would watch Channel 8, and then Channel 6. TC moved there in '84, I believe. And Don Sharp at Channel 4, and Fran Riley was the weekend guy. Mm-hmm. So, and they always had high school sports. So you just got that. The high school sports got inbred into you in this area at an early age. We didn't really have, we had Iowa, but Iowa was in Iowa City. Yeah. Illinois was in, So it was really, if you wanted to see sports, that's where you went. I went to, when I was a kid growing up, my dad didn't work. My dad had to be on call for the ambulance, so I didn't get to go to many high school games. Twice he had to work the ambulance at the Riverdale games, so I went and I sat in the back of the ambulance and watched the games. Watched 2 high school games before I went to high school. And then in high school, I did stats for football. Tried playing freshman basketball. Let's just say that hopefully there's no.
We've seen you play basketball. It's not pretty.
Hopefully there's no video of when I played. And then I did stats for baseball for 2 years, and then just kept right on going.
I love it. Obviously, great run at the Highlight Zone, Dan Pearson, and what he did. And I know it seems like everybody does it now, and it's like, well, it's a high school sports show on a Friday night. But like what Dan did, and the Highlight Zone was different because it was, and this is me growing up, it was the anchors reading it. You knew that if there was a camera on the sideline on a Friday night, there was a chance that you were going to be on TV that night. So he did a fantastic job with it, and other people have imitated it, and then they've continued to grow it and expand it and evolve it, if you will. But man, the Highlight Zone and what you guys did back in the day.
It was the watering. When I was in school, it started when I was in high school. Yeah. It became the watering hole on Friday night where you would want to, where they would because they had all the score. They seemingly had every score.
Yeah.
So I remember we would come back from games, even if we lost. Our coach would let us listen. The coach would say, "All right, highlight zone's on. You guys can listen to it on radio," because at that time they simulcasted on 87.7.
Yeah.
So we would be riding the back roads of Illinois from Amboy or Savannah, and even if we lost, we could listen to the highlight zone.
Yeah.
Then as soon as the highlight zone was over, if we lost, radios went off, and we had to, sit in silence for why we lost. But I mean, we would listen to the highlight zone, and we would find out what Prophetstown did, what Erie did, what Morrison did, what went on in the Fulton game. And even if we couldn't see the highlights or, we could hear the score because they would read the scores, we would be like, all right, that's what, we know what happened around the area. We would also hear, we really weren't tuned into what was going on in the Moline Rocky game or, what was going on over in Iowa in the MAC. But we would hear those highlights and hear the scores and go, oh, well, Central's pretty good this year. Or, Moline is pretty good. We would hear those things. And, by reading the papers and that, we would, we were in touch with what was going on. And the highlight zone was that way to keep in touch. And as you said, it's been often imitated. And like when at the Score, we took it and expanded upon it.
Yeah, of course. And that's, I think, obviously a very important thing to do is continue to build and grow, and the grill outside, all of those kind of things.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. And the ability to now, and I'll go as far as, back in the day, it was try to get to as many games as you can and try to get some semblance of every single team. Now, I don't want to say fans are spoiled, but now they want to see as much of the game as possible. They want the reaction afterwards. They want to talk about what it means big picture. They want the analysis. That's why the guys from View from the West, which you help out with as well, the guys from the View from the West do a great job because it gives people more and more, and it all kind of started growing and building at that.
Greca and Mitch do a tremendous job.
They're okay.
No,
they're average.
They do a tremendous job with View from the West. And, I honestly, you look at what they do with View for the West, and you wish that there was someone who would do the View from the East.
Ryan Stocking.
No, I don't have to. I could
Ryan
not.
Stocking.
No, I don't have the time. And what Mitch and Greg do is, they put, we see the hour to 2 hours they do on the weekly pod, and then the React, which is about an hour or so. But that's not just the only time they put in. They put in
you put your work into. We'll talk about your summer schedule and what you're probably gonna be doing for the next month now.
Getting ready.
Get ready for certain things. We're gonna talk some football here in the second segment. I want to get your thoughts on the upcoming season changes in the IHSA. We'll talk about the Iowa side. Talk about the Pioneers as well. But I want to start with softball and baseball in Iowa. Hitting the post stretch. We do know that softball wise, it was Pleasant Valley. Congratulations to them.
They're going to really state. Good. I saw them play up at North because the softball and baseball announcer for North. I do
the voice of the Wildcat.
I do all the softball, and then when softball's not playing, if there's baseball, I do the baseball. And we had PV came up for softball, and they are a really good team. They're not as good as the teams that they had a few years ago with the Spellhogs and that, but they are a team that can do some damage at Fort Dodge this year. And the thing that with softball this year at Fort Dodge, it's all double elimination. So
really,
so it used to be
you can lose in the first round
and still win state, because it's double elimination.
I don't know if I love that.
I'm not down with that because I think it's too much.
I almost thought it was almost too much before because you have the 8th place games, you have or not the 8th place, but the 7th place games, the 5th place games, 3rd place games, which I'm fine with, but like it does clog up our coverage.
Well, that and
gives us a lot more to do.
Well, like Jeff Linder from the Cedar Rapids Gazette posted a tweet saying, "Hey, we're going to try and get to all the games. We're expanding our coverage, but we're human. We can only get to so many games, and don't be persnickety if we don't cover your team.
Say that word again.
Persnickety.
That's not a word. You just
Yes,
made it
is.
up.
No, it's a word, persnickety.
Why do you sit here using big words on off the air?
Because you are educated. Your viewers are educated.
You know better than persnickety. Oh, bless you. It took all of 16 minutes for you to say a word that I don't understand. Brian Sotcking joining us off the air with Matt Randazzo.
They are going to do their best. They do great coverage of high school athletics over there in Cedar Rapids.
Absolutely.
And they're going to. But see, back in the day, back about 25 years ago, the state tournament 2 state was double elimination. You would play you would have regional semifinals. You won your regional final. You won your regional semifinal. You would go to the regional final. You could get blown out 20-0 and still have a chance to play to get to state, because you would go to you have a district match. Then you have the regional or sub-state, I think they called it sub-state final at that point. So like one year, I think West and North Scott played like 2 or 3 times just to get to state.
Yeah.
It's like going, this is not how it should work, folks. And then, now they got rid of that finally, but now they've got double elimination back at state.
I
So
don't know if I love that. Also,
I'm not sold on it.
good news in 4A for Burlington. They knocked off in North Scott what seemed to be a great game last night up in Aldridge.
Yeah, 3-2.
Excuse me.
Burlington had an 8th grader on their team. She got on base, which scored the tying run in the 7th with 2 outs. And then that tied it. Game went to extra innings, and Burlington was able to push and run another run across. Larry Heath is a legend at Burlington, and he's got a very good team.
7th trip to state?
I think that's what he said last night
awesome.
on TV. And he said they only had 13 girls on the team.
Wow.
In the entire program, which is amazing.
In the entire program?
Yeah. And
varsity or just the entire program?
The way he said it,
that's got to be varsity. There's no way.
I don't know.
A 4A school has 13 girls.
13.
Either way.
I mean, either way, great job for Burlington, and they're not a bad little team.
No, not at all.
So I think they can maybe win a game or 2 at state, and who knows? Even if you lose, there's still a chance where you can make a comeback through the losers bracket, as they say.
In 3A, Assumption lost, but in 2A, Durant had already clinched their tickets. So 3 teams from our Quad City area heading to.
Durant is very good.
Really?
Yeah, I think Durant could very well be playing in that final game for 2A.
Look at that. Baseball is busy. Durant baseball already to state.
Yep. Last night they beat Meepo 9-4.
Yeah, so a great season for Durant, both softball and baseball. Burlington Notre Dame's at state, and then tonight a really good one.
And state for Iowa baseball is still single elimination.
Yeah, and where's that at these days?
The 1A and 2A I believe is in Carroll,
and
3A and 4A is in Cedar Rapids.
And they moved it there because Iowa had the renovations.
They used to be in Des Moines. Everything used to be in Des Moines.
Yep.
And then with the changes in minor league baseball scheduling, they could no longer block off Principal Park for that long. So then they moved it to Iowa City to Dwayne Banks Field. And then I think they moved 1A and 2A out before then. And I think they're still renovating Dwayne Banks and Iowa and the stuff in Iowa City.
So they're Bettendorf PV. I hear that's a pretty good rivalry.
Yeah, they're back again at it, and another chapter in their fierce duel. PV swept them earlier this year. I believe the pitching matchup is going to be Jackson Halter for Bettendorf against Lincoln Dalton for PV, and Lincoln Dalton.
Hold on, who swept whom?
PV swept Bettendorf.
Okay.
And Lincoln Dalton, man alive, that kid is good. 18 against West, 18 strikeouts, complete game, 8 innings, 108 pitches, so very efficient. And he shut down West, and West played a very good game, and Caden Green pitched his heart out. But PV won a lot of games on the MAC for a reason. They were very good, and West gave him a struggle. And they just I think PV's going to say to the state, whatever you do next year, don't put us in the same sub-state as West, because last year West,
that's right,
Dahlhauser beat them, and then this year Caden Green almost pulled the upset. And it's like, because I was announcing the North game and looking on Game Changer every now and then in between innings, and it's like that game's still 0-0. It's like going, what is going on?
And don't forget, last year Bettendorf made a nice run to state.
Yeah,
as
Bettendorf.
well.
I think they got to semis.
I want to say they took second.
Second,
I think
maybe,
they
yeah.
lost in the state championship game. So we're gonna have the winner of that game on hopefully tomorrow. Right
Yeah,
here
and-
off there with Matt Randazzo, talk
and
to
they're
some
really
players
good.
and coach and those type of things. So super busy time of year. Before we hit a break, and I'm going to talk some football after the break, and we have Stockpile Snacks coming up too, which you guys are gonna love. You're gonna love it, Stock. It's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
sure.
I even got a little
I've heard
montage.
that line before.
I got a little montage of it and everything. But are you still a proponent of baseball and softball?
In the summer?
In the
Absolutely.
summertime?
Absolutely.
Why?
Why? Number one, with the amount of players that play baseball that do other sports and softball that do other sports.
Yeah, but they're not able to do it during the summer. There's kids that aren't probably playing baseball because they have football camps and basketball camps.
You would not have enough teams. You would see teams having to fold in like track and soccer.
Why aren't they doing that in Illinois?
Well, track is in Illinois. Track is not as big as it is in Iowa. Iowa has the Drake relays.
I understand that.
The Drake relays are so huge.
I probably would give you that, but like it's still not like it's a niche sport over in Illinois. It's a big sport.
I didn't say it was a niche sport, but
yeah, but I'm just saying it's if you want to compare out, probably because I think the state of Iowa and I don't think track in the state of Iowa has been in a better place than it is right now.
Right.
With the amount of teams and the amount of individuals they have, I completely agree with that. But they still do it on the Iowa side. I mean, Illinois they have track going on. They have other
not
sports.
as big as it is in Iowa.
I'm just
saying, I like baseball and softball in the summer. It's when it should be played. One year back in 1970, I believe, Assumption went to state. You know how many games they played before they got to the state tournament? 12 because of weather.
Well, that happens this side of the river, and they do it just fine.
I think that
Trust me, there's nobody that dislikes covering or now going and watching my kids play baseball.
You like dressing like an Eskimo?
I don't like it at all. But what I'll say is, I've had coaches tell me, not this year, but in the past, that I'm like they'd have a really good team coming in, and they're expecting good things, and they'd say like some of the seniors that weren't playing baseball the next year in college saw college come in, and they're like. You could tell they almost kind of checked out.
Well,
they graduated a month ago, 2 months ago.
But that happens.
And
I mean,
still
in
think
a lot of sports.
I trust me, I'm not against baseball in the summer. It should be played that. I mean, I get that
but
concept.
that happens in a lot of sports.
And there's so many. Like I think baseball and softball. You talk about. I think baseball in Iowa. I think they may lose kids to football. Football camps are going on. Football train off season going on. And I get that you're supposed to be able to do everything. But they make it so that you just can't do everything.
I like where we're at with baseball and softball in the summer because I think that's when it should be played.
I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
It will not. I don't think it will change for the next 10 years, hopefully. Knock on wood. But
we'll both be dead by then.
no, 10 years. I got a lot of other things.
He's your pup.
You got people to walk down the aisle in a few years. Several.
I don't
the
think
next
I
10
have
years.
anybody to walk down the aisle. You know that the guys don't walk the rooms down the aisle.
All right, but you'll still be.
I got 4 boys.
All right, but you know what I mean. You'll be seeing your boys walk down
There
the
you go.
aisle,
Okay,
all
that
right?
makes more sense.
But-
That makes more sense.
I would also say that a sport that they may need to move to summer would be swimming for boys and girls.
We're going to talk about 8th graders being able to play varsity sports in Iowa. That's coming or is here.
It's here.
And we got some stuff with football. Brian Stocking has an opinion about everything. Usually it's wrong, but we'll kind of correct it as we go. Right now you're 0 for 1 because baseball shouldn't be played. They should eventually.
No, they should play in summer. I think more states should go.
You know
to
what's
summer.
my favorite thing right now is I realize is I can turn your microphone off and you can't say anything. Finally, I got a mute button for Brian Stocking. Hey, Brian Stocking's here the entire hour plus on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We got our FCA Story of the Week and Stockpile Snacks, which you guys will not want to miss. All of that and much more coming up here on OTA on a Wednesday. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak, with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Big day coming up tomorrow. Frank Garza on the show. We'll also look back at the open media session going on for Iowa basketball right now as we speak. Starts about 10:45, I believe, at Carver Hawkeye Arena. That and much more tomorrow. But today's show, we've got a house guest, which we haven't had one of those in quite some time. Joining me this hour and the entire show, Brian Sotcking joining us. Coming up in our not number two, but next segment, we're going to do Stockpile Snacks. What's wrong with you? Why are you such a picky eater?
Because I have a picky stomach.
So what will you eat for breakfast?
Either a Pop-Tart or maybe a mini muffins.
Well, you're a child.
No.
Will you have eggs?
No.
Bacon?
No.
Bacon.
I don't have time to make bacon in the
morning. If somebody gave you bacon, you would eat it.
Yes.
But eggs you wouldn't.
I'm not a big egg person.
Cereal?
Not a big cereal person.
Oh my goodness. What's lunch every day?
Well,
when you're at school, when you're teaching.
I'm teaching. Twinkie. Today, by the way, on this day in 2013, the Twinkie returned.
Oh my gosh.
That's a big thing. Twinkies returning. I have a Twinkie. I have a little candy bar. Those Hershey ones that you...
Cookies and cream?
Cookies and cream.
Oh, my man.
I have a sandwich and a bag of chips.
Oh, you're a simple man. So anyways,
during the summer, I have chicken noodle soup.
Back 3 years ago, we Camille Gear would just be like mind-boggled with how simplistic his diet is. So we started doing... One week, we said, hey, you ever have a cookie cake? And you acted like we were trying to get you to eat like a snake or something like that. I'm like, it's a cookie cake.
I'm not a big cookie cake person.
Well, I mean, so we made you do that, and we of course videoed it, and that grew.
Revolted.
That grew, and so every week we did a stockpile snacks.
And every week my stomach revolted.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
and so we're gonna do it here later on the show. In just a little bit. High school football's coming sooner than ever before.
Yeah.
Do they both sides ever start at the same time?
No.
Illinois is a full week earlier.
Illinois' week 1 will be Iowa's week 0. So there might be...
Which doesn't count. Iowa's dumb for that.
But...
There's like one game.
Well, there might be a couple.
Okay, yeah.
And like this year, Assumption's playing week 0 because...
Oh, yeah.
With them playing Geneseo, they had to move that game. So that's going to be technically the week 0 game for Assumption against Geneseo. And it's going to be at Assumption this year.
Yeah, that's right. Your thoughts on the IHSA's new... and you're so old school, so I know where this is going, but their new
I totally
system.
dislike it. I don't like it at all.
which is the same thing as totally disliking. But go ahead.
I went to Riverdale, and I did not play football because I have a heart condition.
Yeah.
I have what they call
and
aortic
you're unathletic.
Well, I would have still played football because
I didn't play basketball in the NBA because I'm not athletic.
Well, but I still would have played football. I'm
Sure.
not saying I would have been anything but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tackling dummy, but you know.
I got you.
But I had a heart condition called aortic stenosis, which is my aorta is narrower than yours. Too much blood flows through, and I'll be fertilizing daffodils for eternity.
Jeez.
Well, it's true. I mean, so I could not play football. I love football, but I couldn't play it. So I did stats for 4 years in high school. And my junior year, Riverdale was playing Morrison. Horrible night for weather. It was icy, sleeting, just cruddy weather. And the thing was we were 5-3. We win. We're 6-3. We'll be in the playoffs. We were going to qualify over Aledo.
And that's before it was the drive for 5.
Right.
You had to get
so
6.
you had to get 6 and playoff points.
Yeah.
Because even you had to get like almost 7.
Yeah.
But 6 was like that year we could have gotten in with a 6-3 record. So we played Morrison. Horrible night weather-wise. We couldn't get our offense going. Morrison got some punts and the wind. They beat us 28-0. I go in to take the stats after the game, and I saw kids that were the toughest kids in school, kids that you didn't mess with, kids that were strong.
Say their names.
No, I'm not going to say any names.
They were crying, weren't they?
They were.
Call them a crybaby on the air.
No, I'm not calling
Come
them.
on,
No.
Stock.
They were, literally they were crying in their lockers. Some kids went to the shower to hide their tears. I took the stats in and I had to leave about a minute after because I could not stand to see kids that I knew from class just
Get
crying their
us to
tears
why
out.
you don't like the system.
So there is a value for football. There's a value of qualifying for the playoffs.
Yep.
Now, and for football, they make t-shirts. You go to like Riverdale this past year. Riverdale made the playoffs, 5-4 record. UT made the playoffs, 5-4 record. They made shirts. There was excitement.
I'm glad
Now-
UT made it last year, so that they didn't snap their streak on a. They won 3 games this year.
Yeah.
And got to get in.
You're gonna last year.
I agree with
there
you.
were
and I hate that,
22.
but I agree
There
with
were
you.
22 teams with a record of 2-7 that will have qualified for the state playoffs.
Really?
That is terrible. And I'm sorry.
But Stockpile, you used to love the Iowa side of the river. You
But-
did an entire segment on KWQC one time on a podcast on why 0-9, 1-8 North.
1-8 because they
could beat,
they
like-
did what they had to do. They got because that year
They did what they had to do. They won 1 game.
you had to finish 4th, and they beat Central.
They won 1
They
game.
beat Central and got 4th place.
But they won a game.
Yeah, I
So
know.
you
I know.
can't
I was
tell me that 2-7 teams should. But you used to be an advocate for 1-8 teams.
I said that I didn't think there should have been 32 teams.
Okay.
But when you're presented with that fact, you try and make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
And I just think that going to this with 48 teams and having buys and 3 and 6 teams playing 4 and 5 teams. 1-7 versus 1-7 with a winner going to the playoffs doesn't sound like playoff intensity. We talk about playoff shirts. Every school, they qualify for the playoffs. They're making a playoff shirt. They don't make playoff shirts in basketball for making the region.
What do you think of starting the season earlier? I think I think they'll get
It's
used to it.
very
They'll make
dangerous.
adjustments, but I think it's a slippery slope.
It's very dangerous because of the fact that there are some schools still that do not have air conditioning. You're going to have kids practicing in 100-degree heat.
Yeah, but that doesn't
And-
matter. They're not going to practice inside anyways.
Well, but you're going to have to try and get those kids cool if they have a heat incident. And I just think that starting the season this early, you're asking for trouble.
But
last year,
in their defense with that, if whether it's, let's say they started early and so they start what now?
that'll be starting August 5th.
Okay, so August 5th compared to you're going to get hot days regardless.
Right,
but so the weather thing, I get it, but I don't get it.
Last year, had they started week 1 with the week that they're doing now, was one of the highest. There were like temperatures of 100 degrees and that was not counting the heat index.
Yeah.
You would have had kids you could have had a serious incident with a kid having a heat hints in it.
I think it's weird that there's 2 games in August.
Well, there's been that before.
Yeah, I guess so.
When August 24th, August 31st.
Yeah, I guess so. I think
there was a year where they started August 23rd. So it's happened before. It's not very common.
Let's talk about the my alma mater, Alleman. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot on the show. We've had Greg Armstrong weigh in. We had Mitch weigh in. We had Matt Shuckman weigh in. Even we had Mike Morrissey, who was on the show, and he kind of talked about it as well. I totally understand both sides of it. I get it. I don't think anybody's a winner or a loser. I think it's unfortunate all the way around. I don't know if there's an answer. But if there's an answer out there, Brian Sotcking will make it up.
It's very sad what's happening, and I'm not sure there is an answer that would satisfy people, because I hear people saying, well, they should go to 7 teams. Allman should leave for football.
For football only.
But you're not going to find a school that's going to come in for football only, because a lot of schools, they have their schedule set for basketball
100%.
And I'm not sure that
they can't do just 7 because there's no universal
opponent bye week. So I think it's going to be very difficult for them to go to 7. And also, what about Allman? You have to think about them also. Would they get the Lincoln Trail's pretty tight, pretty full? I think they've got all the teams they want. Well, the Lincoln Land for football, but they're pretty full. The 3 Rivers, I don't see them getting into the 3 Rivers. So what's left? The Northwest Upstate Illini. They won't go in the Big Northern. Northwest Upstate Illini. I mean, that's a haul. That would be a haul for them week in and week out. And I just don't know if there's you can't be independent. And they go, well, then they should leave for all sports. But then you're looking for a home for your baseball. You're looking at a home for your golf, your track.
They can't
tennis.
They can't do independence in all the sports because it's an impossible task. There's no other conference to go to. The track seems like a perfect fit, but they don't want Alleman. So I understand Alleman's side of it, but you understand the Western Big Six's side. Moline and Alleman haven't played in 5 years.
But
yes, they'd probably. I guess it was better to find out in June than it was in
the week of the game.
But it just there's not a good. And then again, I say okay, Alleman leaves, they go to the track. You're at 7 teams in the Western Big Six. Who do you add to the Western Big Six?
Yeah,
to come in all the way.
Well, so let's think about it. When in the late 70s, the Western Big Six was looking at expanding. The lead candidate was Macomb. Does Macomb make that jump now? I don't think they're as big
not
as
at all.
And who would their
They had a fantastic football season, and they lost to Geneseo handily in the playoffs.
And who would their rival be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even worry about who the rivals would be.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Galesburg, Quincy, maybe. I mean, they're going to have a natural rival.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be Quincy, Galesburg, something like that. But who's Quincy's rival?
Galesburg.
But it's not.
Well,
I mean, it's the closest one by closeness, but it's usually to a point now where, I mean, I get the rivalry aspect. I totally understand it, but now it almost comes down to more recent rivals. Quincy's been more rivalry with Moline because some of the games they've had of importance over the last couple of years.
So maybe Dixon, but does Dixon make that jump? I mean, Dixon, that would be that'd be almost like adding a Geneseo or Sterling. Maybe they want to add Ottawa and LP, but I think Ottawa and LP are going to be, if you add them both, they're at 9 teams.
Yeah.
So they'd be a match because Ottawa and LP are almost tied at the hip. They're not gonna split from each other. Mm-hmm. So then now you're back to square. If you add them both, now you're asking, well, now we got to go from 9 to 10.
Yeah.
And maybe a Dixon.
Well, you also got to remember that, I think Geneseo's not, I don't want to say actively, but they probably would be open to going to another conference, and it's a whole weird, like you just said. I don't think there's a good answer. I do know that it is unfortunate. Alleman's trying to rebuild.
Very sad.
Alleman's, and I'm an Alleman guy. My kids go there. My nieces go there. I got a niece that'll go to, and obviously not a football player, but will go to 6 Friday night high school football games in 4 years.
My 4 years at Riverdale, we had 34 Friday nights and 2 Saturday
Those are the things that is sad and I get it on the Western Big Six side of things. If you have that Alleman week, you're losing a Western Big Six game. So I think Alleman's trying to rebuild a football program. I think Coach Barber's doing a great job.
But it's very difficult in the Western Big Six.
And you're trying to rebuild a football program in a conference that you're probably too small for, at a time where numbers in football are
going down,
diminishing all over the place. On the field itself, have you started to look ahead to I think Moline's loaded again this year.
I think you can. Well, here's the thing with the Western Big Six now, with the 2-7 and that, all 7 teams could make the playoffs. That's not hyperbole either. Because every team's gonna have.
For a second, I was gonna blast you, but then I realized you need to win 2 games.
Yeah,
to get in.
I mean, every team's gonna have that one win with that forfeit win, and then all they have to do is win one other game. Galesburg last year blew out Bartonville Limestone.
Yeah,
Rocky beat Galesburg. That could be if you need 2 wins essentially. I mean, they're guaranteed with 3, so all you have to do is win an extra non-conference game, or maybe pull an upset, or maybe catch a team on a down week. There's your 3 wins, and you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I think the Western Big Six you can break into 3 tiers. The bottom tier is Galesburg and Rocky. They both are struggling. Galesburg, though.
Why would you start with the negative?
I'm not.
You're such a negative.
I'm building up to the positive.
Oh, okay.
Galesburg, though, could pull an upset. They've got some veterans back. Rocky, they've got a new coach. It's gonna be interesting to see how that dynamic works. It might take a year or 2 for Rocky to get back.
Yeah, I think patience is a beautiful thing.
Well, and that's something that's in short supply now in sports, even in high school football, which is sad to say. The next tier, I think, is Sterling and Geneseo. Sterling last year, they finished. I didn't even recognize this till I looked at it again last night. They were 5-1 in their last 6 games.
I think Sterling's really good. I think they've got really good young talent.
They got to get some. They got to get their line, and
this is the most experience that John Schlemmer will have in quite some time, and I think he's looking forward to that.
And can Brock? I think it's Brady Berlin. I think.
Yep.
Last name's Berlin. Because usually John Schlemmer, his teams that were very successful had 2 quarterbacks. Berlin's going to be the quarterback. Usually Schlemmer had like a quarterback that could throw and a quarterback that could run. This year, I think Berlin's going to be the QB1 passing and running.
Yeah.
If he can, if they can get some protection for him, he's got a good receiver in Jack Sadoff. Sterling could be a surprise.
I like Geneseo.
Geneseo lost a lot, though.
I know they lost, but I think Coach Furlong is everything I've heard out there is that their feeder programs and everything that's coming
Geneseo
up is like
always has a
super
great
super impressive. Program. So I think they're going to be fine as well. So then you have your top 3 as Quincy,
if they can give
Moline and
next year,
UT.
Quincy could be really good because they'll have Little will still be the quarterback. I think they'll get him more weapons and maybe a line. I think that's the big question at Quincy. Can they get a line to protect him? UT, they lost a lot, but they got that taste of the playoffs. They got that extra week of practice. Nick Welch has done wonders at UT.
You're just kissing up to Nick Welch.
No,
is what you're doing right now.
I'm being truthful. But I think the team that's going to be the top team is going to be Moline. They got Ponder. They got weapons. They've got a line. They've got on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to be stout. And I think Moline. This is the year I think for Mike Morrissey to finally get the monkey off their back and make that deep run.
Yeah.
They always tease that run. Last few years they've had that tease where they get in the playoff. They lose in like quadruple overtime that one year.
Yeah.
Lose by a field goal, and it's like, I think this is the year they finally break down that wall. Like UT broke down that wall last year of getting to the playoffs. Moline breaks down that wall and makes a run to the state.
I want to talk to you about the Iowa side.
Okay.
What are the storylines as you enter this season when it comes to the Iowa side of the river?
Well, I think a few of the storylines is, can North repeat?
What I know you're going to start with.
But North last year went to the playoffs. They were 6-3. They lost to Pella by a field goal. They're going to be Neil Brown transferred back to Alabama.
He did.
Yes, so they're going to be there's going to be a new quarterback. There's going to be a new QB1. They got to get a receiver because David Joyner, who had that breakout game against Marion, he graduated. So if they can get, they got to do a little restoration work. But North could host their first ever playoff game at Brady Street Stadium with a few breaks this year. They've never hosted North has not hosted a playoff game at Brady ever.
Wow.
All their playoff games have been on the road. I think the last playoff game for a Davenport public school at Brady was 1990, I think.
Really?
It's been a while. And then the other storyline is last year both PV and Bettendorf missed the playoffs, which is very stunning that both of those teams missed. Can they get up? Can they get back to where they were in the years the last few years? It just didn't seem like the playoffs without PV and Bettendorf, without at least one, if not both of them.
No, absolutely. It's by the way, do you see how hard I'm working over here?
I see that.
Like we got chats going on.
I know.
This isn't an easy thing to do.
I didn't say it was, but no, I'm just. I think that I wasn't saying anything, and I think that it's gonna be interesting to see teams like last year. Burlington had a strong season. Clinton, I've heard a lot of good things about possibly Clinton making a run in towards the playoffs. North Scott's going to have to add some pieces back. I mean, 4A is going to be a dogfight,
and that's what North is in right now.
Yep, and Assumption had a good year. I heard Assumption.
What's your favorite Davenport public school?
I have 3 children. I don't.
What's your favorite?
I have 3 children.
It's North, isn't it?
I have 3 children.
Your least favorite is Central.
No, I didn't say that. You said that.
That's probably smile if it is.
I have 3
So
children.
it's not. So you hate West.
I have 3 children, Dazzo.
I love it. Brian Sotcking joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. The state of Iowa is already put through that 8th graders can play varsity sports starting this year.
Yeah,
So my thought with that, and this is just me, and I haven't done enough research, and you can tell me if I'm an idiot or not, is that it's not going to affect a lot of sports because I don't know too many freshmen that are ready to play varsity sports, more or less 8th graders. My thought process is it's going to affect some of the smaller sports that are having struggles with numbers, allowing them to have a team, aka, like I guess if you're talking about, and that's not a smaller sport, but Central softball
or like Lone Tree football.
Yeah.
I really.
But I don't like the rule overall. I think it's
everyone says, well, they allow 8th graders to play baseball and softball. And that's true.
But they're playing.
But they're going in their freshman year.
Yeah, they're playing 2 weeks ahead of their freshman year.
And you're talking about kids that are almost 14 playing against 18-year-olds. You're going to have literally 13-year-olds going up against grown 17 and 18-year-olds.
I don't think you will.
Well.
But the ability to make that okay is mind-boggling.
That and you're going to have coaches who are going to be told, you want to be teaching here next year, you got to have this, you're going to have your team out on the field. And so you're going to have coaches who are going to feel pressured to put some 8th graders out there. I know some of the conferences are talking about putting up guardrails where, that 8th grader can play maybe on the freshman team or on the sophomore team, but not on the varsity team. Now, question is, would that hold up in a court case? Because you want people lawyer up.
I know that there's on the Illinois side, and it's football. So I don't think this affects football in any way, shape, or form, but I think that's a big, like a lot of people say, hey, we're the freshmen. I think freshmen already play too much varsity sports in general.
Right.
More or less.
I don't think they're ready. They're not.
No.
They're not mentally ready. They're not physically ready.
Well, there's also something to be said about like.
They're not body ready either.
Yes, it's something being said about like, it used to be, about a freshman that was pretty good. Now we're going to sound like a bunch of old guys, but that that those kids were good, but they got their teeth cut.
They got to see them
and then they got
game.
to that level, and now it's like for the vast majority of schools, maybe the biggest of schools, you don't do this, and I know it's all different in different sports, but once you know of a talented freshman that comes in the building, they streamline them to like that varsity level, and it's like, well,
they're not physically ready. They're not mentally. They're not maturity ready. They're not ready. Maturity wise. Mental maturity, they're not ready. Bodily, they're not ready. I mean, when I was a freshman, I weighed 90 pounds. I mean, we had a freshman.
What are you at nowadays?
A little bit more than that.
I thought you were going to answer. I was thinking, don't answer.
No, a little bit more than that. we had a freshman. I'm not going to say the name. He played when I was at school. He started as a freshman, and you could tell the difference between him as a freshman and the senior that he was being asked to guard.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're putting kids into bad situations. Kids are going to want to play. Parents are going to want their kid to play.
Yeah, but I think a lot of parents do know, Stack, that like, hey, be careful.
Well,
because like I know parents that, and this football is a thing. I mean, it is much different, but that have said, I'm not like in an Alleman situation. We don't want most parents of freshmen don't want them to even consider having their freshmen play varsity.
You know that there are some parents in some sports that
100%
that are
100%.
My kids should be playing
100%.
And now you're going. And here's the other thing: 8th grade level, you're really going to wreck the 8th grade. You're really going to wreck middle school sports, because if you're an 8th grade who can play, they're not going to keep you playing junior high basketball. They're going to move you up to play at least sophomore, if not freshman, if not sophomore.
Yeah.
And your 8th grade games are going to be essentially glorified B games masquerade as 8th grade games, because of the fact that you're going to have kids that are going to be moved up now in some sports, like maybe swimming or soccer. Maybe they can do it. Baseball and softball. The question is, does that open the door for 7th graders? And I'm sorry, 7th grade to 8th grade summer is nowhere. They should not be anywhere near a varsity diamond or even a freshman diamond. They're not. There's just too many. I just don't think that. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to build the numbers, especially in some sports where the numbers are down. I know they'll pat themselves on the back in Des Moines and Boone and say, we did a good job. We raised numbers in this sport, or we raised numbers in this sport.
You gotta do it right.
All the numbers will raise because there'll be more kids to go into the system. But I think it's going to be to the detriment of the sport.
Yep, I would agree. I don't love it. Like I said, I don't think it'll have a huge impact. But there'll be some cases that'll be interesting.
And also, you're going to have more cases of open enrollment because kids are going to be like, well, I didn't get my shake.
What about this? An 8th grader could go to a different school because they know they could play quicker at a high school than the high school that they're actually at.
And we've had kids in Davenport who played. There was a girl at North who pitched for us as an 8th grader, pitched a lot of the season. So I'm subbing at West that fall. I see her name on the class roster for English. I'm like, going, that can't be. And she comes in and she's like, Stockpile, what are you doing here? I'm like, going, better question is, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So after class, I go, I thought you were at North. She goes, well, I just, things went, I didn't enjoy my summer and, I just didn't feel fit. And so she was at West. It's like, oh, wow.
Here's my new thing. It's not my new thing, but my little rant. Pro sports are pro sports.
Yeah.
College sports are now pro sports.
Yeah.
They pay the athletes their pro sports. High school sports are now what college sports used to be.
Yeah.
And now high school sports are really 5th to 8th grade because that's what high school sports used to be with AAU with competitive tryouts
now
with
is
cutting
the high school sports.
I mean, you could we just did the baseball. We're in the middle of the baseball tryout week and all that. I mean, it's wild that some of the things that goes on.
Well,
so that's
you told me that earlier, and I told that to my mom, Mother Stockpile, and she agreed with you.
Yeah, of course, because Mother Stockpile and I are like, we're right here.
She knows things.
She does. She's a smart lady.
Yep.
We have Stockpile Snacks coming up next.
We got to talk about Iowa and Iowa State.
We will. We're going to do Stockpile Snacks. It's like I'm back in the newsroom with this guy or the sports office. We're going to do Stockpile Snacks. We're going to take a break. We have Dan Pearson, your FCA Story of the Week. We'll take another break, and then we're going to wrap things up by talking about Iowa State. And rumor has you might have me some presents.
Yeah. And we got to talk about the NFL.
We got a lot to talk about. Brian Sotcking is here. He may be here all day. We may go till 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
The longest ever.
Yeah, the longest ever show in the history of OTA. We got that much more straight ahead. You're watching OTA. I got to find my commercial break on a Wednesday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back. For over 65 years, Linquist Ford has proudly served the Quad Cities. And they're just getting started. Looking for a new ride? Check out a healthy mix of new and quality pre-owned vehicles ready for you. Need service? Skip the waiting room. With free pickup and delivery and mobile service, They come to you, no delays, no hassle. From routine maintenance to a full-service collision repair shop, it's fast, friendly, reliable, and always transparent. Lindquist Ford, serving the Quad Cities since 1959. Experience the difference today.
Hello, Crawford Company.
You're not gonna believe this. My air conditioning, plumbing, and electricity are all on the fritz at the same time.
Well, lucky for you, we do all three.
Hey, it's the Crawford guy.
One call to Crawford can fix all your household problems. For heating and air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, count on the experts at Crawford Company.
Like me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. My seat's a little lower in my one shot because we've got a guest in the two shot. It is the one and only Brian Sotcking joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, are my co-host for the day. Of course, if you missed any of the shows earlier this week, I encourage you to go check them out. Monday and Tuesday, fun shows. Stockpile today. Tomorrow on the show, Frank Garza, Luca Garza's father. We're excited to have Frank on the show. We're also going to look back at the open media practice for Iowa basketball going on as we speak, and then hopefully track down the winner of the PV Bettendorf game to go to state tonight. So a busy day tomorrow. Of course, no show on Friday as we move forward.
Assumption also plays tonight.
Assumption, yes, they do
They're
as well.
at Solon.
Okay, beautiful.
So Assumption has had their two sub-state games. They've won them both by a combined 28-0, and they both had no hitter. They had no hitters in both games.
Wow.
First was 4 innings, and the second was 5 innings.
Yeah,
so
pretty good.
they are. I mean, Assumption is very,
as
very
advertised. Before we move on more sports, I talked about it earlier. You're a very picky eater.
I am a discerning
child. You're a
eater.
child.
No,
and
I'm a discerning eater.
it drove us crazy. It's always driven me crazy, but it drove Camille Gear extra crazy. So we started a segment called Stockpile Snacks. We did it on
I
Facebook.
was young and innocent.
Facebook for fun, probably 3 years ago, and here's a little snippet of what was
young
that,
and innocent.
of that was like. Take a look at this.
Favorite thing to do on Friday? Whose? Yours. Stockpile Snacks week 6-ish, maybe 7. I don't know exactly what it is.
It's been too big.
I got some big news for you, buddy. Some exciting news for Brian Snack.
Last one, right?
No.
Oh.
Guess what we're doing this week?
What?
We're heading out of the country.
I don't have a passport.
You don't need a passport. You're going to enjoy the heck out of it.
I don't have a passport. I really don't.
Behind plate number
Fried
one.
rice. Look at his face. You gotta get his face.
Rice?
You could do this.
No, I don't eat rice.
You do now.
You're gonna have one bite.
It's a family thing not to eat rice.
Okay,
What's the
silly.
family
No,
thing?
I don't want you to say anything stupid.
Because when my dad was a little boy, his father worked at John Deere.
You use that with peanut butter. You already used that with peanut butter.
No,
You can't use it with rice too.
You interrupt.
Okay, I do.
When he was working at the foundry, they had a wildcat strike, which is an uncalled strike.
Uh-huh.
And the union gave my grandfather rice to keep the
You were
family
alive during this.
No, I was
Okay,
not,
so we're good.
But
Move
my
on.
dad would never eat rice. He told my
It's
mom
okay.
there's
I
one.
checked with
you
your
can.
dad. I checked with your dad.
How? He's gone.
I had a little seance.
His dad talked to your dad, and it's all good.
They're both not with us. Not bad. Nope, just chew it. Chew it. Stockpile. Chew it. Chew it. There she goes. Come on, it's rice. It has no taste.
It's not.
Garlic bread. It's delicious.
It looks off. It
No,
looks like
stop it with it.
looks
I'm gonna
like
cut
you
my
got
own
burned.
piece. I did a little bit. I kind of heated it back up.
See, he burns it, so I.
No, that's burnt. This is delicious. All right, ready? Okay, everybody knows the deal. One bite, no spitting it out. If not, it's so good. Oh my gosh, is that good? Stop it, stop. I cut the piece too big, Cuff. We're gonna waste that. Okay, go on.
I'm getting a terrible. I'm getting worse breath than anything.
I think we'll be okay. You got a date tonight?
Thankfully, no, because if I did, they'd run away.
Yeah, they would. This is wanted on Facebook.
I'm not eating pickles.
Well, come on, why would you not?
I don't eat pickles.
I
We
you
know,
don't.
that's why you don't.
like,
We're
you
gonna
haven't eaten
try.
any of these
I
things.
don't like pickles.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. I don't
When's the
like
last time
them.
you tried one?
Come back to me in a couple weeks.
Okay, so
you
But
don't know.
my brother eats them. I don't.
Cuff, what's the rule about your taste buds?
They change every 7 years.
Every 7 years.
They do. And my taste buds haven't
You don't
changed
know that.
ever.
So come on, you can do this. One.
My
How do you
my
do it?
taste buds haven't changed in
Wow,
years.
eat the pickle.
My brother eats
You have
the
to eat a
pickles.
pickle in order to get the rewards. The rewards
That's
are
not
good.
fair.
The rewards are good. Trust us, the rewards are good.
Yes. You'll be happy. Come on. Down the hatch we go. You don't need this. Just grab with your finger. Get a small one. You don't have to get a big dog. See, there's probably little guys in there. Stop. Pop. Stop. Pop. I'm so proud of you. Oh, no, I knew that wasn't going to go well.
We knew that wasn't gonna. We knew that would happen.
But
So is it too sour? Is it too pungent? What is it?
Too pungent and terrible. It tastes like turpentine.
So have you ever had a cucumber?
have you eaten turpentine?
Probably I caught it somehow, but I don't.
It's not a disease.
I caught the turpentine. I'm going to be laid up for a little while.
Oh, the good old days, Stockpile. You were a trooper, and people love. I mean, literally, they get up on Saturday morning. You tried, but this isn't great. Like the first one was the cookie cake. I mean, you tried a caramel apple and hated
was
it.
terrible.
You tried macaroni and cheese, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We're not like acting like we're having you try these disgusting things. These
They
are
are
just
disgusting.
common, normal foods that, like, I would say 99% of the people like.
Well, that doesn't mean I have to like it.
I know, but that's we're
This
expanded.
is America.
Do you remember anything where you like ate it, tried it, and you're like, oh, and now maybe you still eat it today?
No.
Stockpile. Okay, so we're same thing. We got 3 things. We got one over there, one here, one here.
Lord.
3 different things. We got you some water.
Yeah.
So you're ready to go.
There better be a.
I'll let you pick 1, 2, or 3 to go first.
I hope there's a little.
The Detroit Lions thing, just in
Yeah,
case.
I might be
Just
using
spit
that
something out of.
because
You can. You're fine.
because the Detroit.
Don't be spitting bad things about the Lions. So 1, A, B, or C. 1, 2, or 3.
We'll try 1.
1. This is so. We talk about what do you eat for breakfast?
I have like a Pop-Tart and a Pop-Tart, and some days I have a Pop-Tart, some days I have mini muffins.
So you're a child again. You
No,
don't-
I don't have a lot of
breakfast is
time.
the best meal of the day. So
Breakfast is
reason
not
why
the
we
best
have
meal of the day,
we have
but-
utensils to cut it because I don't want you to waste it.
But I don't
It's a sausage biscuit.
I don't eat that much.
It's a sausage biscuit
Yeah.
from McDonald's. You love McDonald's,
I do love McDonald's.
but I don't want you to take a bite and waste it all. So
Yeah, that
this
way
is
you can have the
simply a
rest of it.
sausage biscuit. You can take it off there, just pull it off.
That way you can have the rest of it.
sandwich, yeah,
or
there
you
you
can
go.
feed it to the children.
I got kids.
Yeah, you got kids.
I have a feeling you're like. Have you ever had? When was
What?
the last time you had a sausage biscuit?
Try never. I've had sausage, or a biscuit, but never.
You can't not like this. You can't not like this.
The sausage isn't bad, but the biscuit is terrible.
A little dry. You can throw yeah, there you go. Just toss it down there. But the sausage isn't bad, is it?
The sausage isn't bad.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that 1 for 1, Chuck. We're 1 for 1. And you can have a little drink. Cleanse your palate.
I might need it more than. might
Charlie,
need
go
something
give that
stronger.
to. Eventually, give that to one of the kids. One of the kids. That's
What
that's how we're doing lunch today. Whatever Stocking does it. You don't have to do it right away, Charlie. All right, 2 or that wasn't bad.
The biscuit was bad, but the sausage was all right.
Okay. Do you want 2 or 3? We got something healthy, something sweet.
We'll try number 2.
2 is sweet. Or do you want to go healthy first?
We'll try number 2.
Okay. I don't know if we did this back in the day. This looks delicious.
What is it?
A cinnamon roll.
Oh, okay. I've had those before.
Well, when's the last time you had one? Like last week or like 1982?
Not that long ago, but it's been probably last time was maybe at the beginning of the school year.
Oh, that's not bad. And you ate the whole thing?
No.
So you do not like them?
Not really.
Well, you're going to like this one. Here, my hands are clean. All right. Number 2. We could go 3 for 3. Because I think the next one is... Stop it, Stock! What?
I'm not that fan of these.
If you don't like it, throw it away. You don't have to... He literally threw it away, Chuck. Don't give that to any of your brothers. They'll be bouncing off the walls with that. All right, so there's 2. So scale 1 to 10 for the. Hold on, let's go sausage biscuit first.
Well, why don't we wait and we can?
But so 1 to 10 sausage biscuit.
6.5.
That's not bad. Cinnamon roll.
2.
Ah, darn it! I think you'll like these. I think you will. The last one is our healthy. He took my trash can. Oh, that would have been cool if I would have made it. Huh?
Hold on. Oh, wait.
No, you're good, Stack. No, just stay there.
Okay.
Trust me, just stay there.
Your talented assistant could get it.
Blueberries. What kind of Pop-Tart do you like?
I have blueberry Pop-Tart.
So then you obviously like blueberries.
It was either that or strawberry, and I'm not a big strawberry fan.
But do you like the blueberry taste, or do you like blueberries? There's a big
Probably
difference.
just the taste.
So you're worried. Don't worry about it, Chuck. You're worried you're not gonna like.
I don't like blueberry. I don't eat blueberries.
When's the last time you ate a blueberry?
I love
this. You don't have to have an exact date.
I don't remember. So it might have been when I was.
But you like blueberry Pop-Tarts.
Because
so then we're good to go.
Pop-Tarts.
But we're good to go. It's a blueberry pop. That's the reason why we did it.
One.
Yeah, you have to do one. If you need to spit it out, spit it out. Come on, stop. You like blueberry Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, but not blueberry itself.
Oh, Chuck. We got some blueberries for lunch. Enjoy.
Chuck. I always knew him as Charlie.
Yeah, we call him. You should hear some of the things I call him, right? Charlie. That's it. That wasn't that bad. Okay, so now blueberries. 1 to 0?
1.
So you would go sausage biscuit. And you like sausage.
Yeah.
Do you have sausage for do you ever have normal breakfast food?
Many muffins and breakfast. Donut. I have donuts every now and then.
Do you have any breakfast food that doesn't involve sugar? Like eggs?
No.
Good question, Chuck. Like eggs. We tried eggs on the last one. That didn't go well.
Yeah, it didn't go well. And I just don't have time in the morning.
But you can find things that are like.
I don't have that much time in the morning. It's because I get up. I gotta get up. I gotta humanize myself. That takes a while.
What is
shower,
humanize?
Brush teeth.
Hey, for being a good sport. How many years ago? 13 years ago today, they brought back these.
Yes, the Twinkie.
Have a Twinkie for the rest of the show.
And
then take obviously the rest of them with you. There's your reward for.
I'll have those later.
So that wasn't. So anybody who's wondering, I'll try to find them and repost them. And we have they're so good. There's probably 8 of them, and they're so good.
No, they're not.
I will say this: you are a good sport.
I try
because you came out to the house and I made you eat things. But like if you would have said, "Hey, Dazzo was mean to me. He came out and made me try a cinnamon roll," like they're not going to get much sympathy from too many people.
No. Yeah, I'm not a big. I don't eat. I eat what I need to eat. Like during basketball. I mean during baseball season and softball season, I go up to the concession stand. I usually get a hot dog and something to drink.
Matt now mentions nobody has time in the morning for breakfast, but they still have breakfast.
I don't have time.
It's a great point.
Well, yeah, but I have to drive and get to work and that in the morning. So.
Oh my goodness! And also, there's a bunch of people on here right now.
Well, that's good.
Sorry, I can't chat. I have a guest. I have a house guest, so I can't chat as much as I like to. So, let's take another quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we got Dan Pearson, your FCA Story of the Week, and then we'll wrap things up with Stocking, talk some Iowa State, some NFL, and a whole bunch more.
Yeah,
You're watching
the Hawks, too.
And we'll talk it all. We got much more with Brian Stocking right after this on OTA. We'll be right back.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Wednesday is Hump Day. It's also known as FCA Story of the Weekday here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I'm really benefiting and loving the ability to work with my good friend Dan Pearson again and share some of his fantastic stories that he does each and every week. FCA is a fantastic organization. And this week, a beloved Bureau County sports writer is in the final stretch of a wonderful career. As FCA's Dan Pearson reports, Kevin Hieronmyus takes a lifetime of special memories and relationships into retirement. Here's Dan Pearson with your FCA Story of the Week.
He's had a front row seat in front of the front row seats for more than 40 years.
Now, I'm like the only reporter at a game typically.
Kevin Hieronmyus, skilled writer, interviewer, advocate, and friend for high school students, parents, and communities. He's calling it a career. He arrived at the Bureau County Republican in 1986 after quick stops in Morton and St. Louis.
The memories flow here outside of Prouty Gym especially. We got the plaque there for the 90 state volleyball champions. I covered them. 1989 Tiger style running wild football. I know me and you reconnected there on the football sidelines, and I'm buddies with those guys today. I don't think very many of us are running wild anymore, but we're still there.
No regrets as he's stayed in a smaller market, committed, driven to excellence in high school coverage. Small scale, big, elite, important results.
When your hometown team wins, it's always a better story. Yeah. And you do have to be objective, but you can still, I'm obviously going to favor the home team. You know, if it's Hall or Princeton, Bureau Valley, I'm going to favor them. Each of them have had their share of successes over the years.
Memorable moments are etched in the Illinois State grad's heart. Even those fun singular moments.
Sean Schickel, me and you were both there. Famous 1989 Tigers, Sean Schickel said, used to be, oh my God, it's Rock Island Almond. Now it's, oh my God, it's Princeton Tigers.
Quote of the century.
I've used that often over the years.
Hieronmyus has seen the power of team, loyalty, love through the years to get to this special end. Through the journey, the true love of his life has been his MVP.
Here's where I'll lose it. So when we were first dating, Cammie used to come to ball games with me, sit right down there in the first row of the bleachers and keep stats for me. And we got married and had kids, and then she said, well, I think, you go do your thing, and she's always continued to support me. And truth be known, she's like my personal proofreader now here in the later years, and catches a lot of things that go through the system, and I wouldn't be here without her.
Retirement, a rite of passage for this passionate and purpose sports writer. And you can print that with the FCA Story of the Week. I'm Dan Pearson.
Thanks, Dan. Awesome story. Awesome individual. Over 4 decades of great coverage. He will be missed around the beat in Bureau Valley and Bureau County for sure. You can check out the FCA Story of the Week on Sundays on The Score Sunday on WQAD, and also on WQAD's on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. as well. We got a lot more to get to. We got Brian Stocking. We've done Stockpile Snacks, I should say. We'll wrap things up and talk a little Iowa, Illinois, and a whole bunch more with Brian Stocking. We'll be back right after this. You're watching OTA on a Wednesday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Brian Stocking, and Brian, I just feel like I'm almost off the screen. Brian Stocking in the studio all Wednesday with us here on OTA. Thanks for doing this. No problem. You just got done saying, I almost didn't mic you up. You just got done saying that you're actually going to say nice things about Iowa. So let's get right to it. Talk about the Hawks and all these nice things.
Okay, first of all, I think that the tampering thing that the NCAA has done to Iowa is a complete joke and farce. Every school tampers. You're talking
about like with
Cade McNamara.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Here's the thing.
Look at what's going on at Michigan right now, and we took wins away from Iowa. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
Well, here's the thing. Iowa should have lawyered up. That's the problem now. You lawyer up, the NCAA goes away, because like with Texas Tech, with the Brendan Sorsby fiasco, that was they lawyered up. Cincinnati, they've got a letter of inquiry. I think they should lawyer up. Yeah. You lawyer up, the NCAA goes away because they can't win a court case. Iowa got nailed twice for tampering. First time, we got to suspend Ferentz because he's such a nefarious character for tampering with Cade McNamara, which is complete
Well, they didn't get
garbage.
him twice.
Well, yes, they did. Because
I think Iowa did the self-imposed.
Well, because the NCAA
first time
was...
That's what's frustrating is Iowa did it, took care of it punished themselves probably more than they should have been.
Yeah.
And then they came into even more.
And then the next year, the NCAA comes back and goes, well, we got to start taking victories away.
Yeah.
It's like, for what? Because he talked with a guy, every school tampers, they drug Ferentz's good name through the mud, and I think it's just garbage that they did that to Iowa.
Stockpile, I love
Well,
it.
I'm
You
being
love the
truthful.
Hawks. It's about to,
No.
like Iowa State's what, probably 10 years away from non-existing. So you might as well start transferring over to being a Hawkeye fan.
No, we've been around for a long time.
I know you've been, but
we're still
what's the other good things about Iowa?
This upcoming season for Iowa, I think if Iowa could have a very good season, because of the fact that if they can get through their first 6 games, because if they can get through that 4-2, they have a chance to have a very good season.
Yeah.
Those they have
I'll make it even simpler. That 3-game stretch between Washington, Michigan, Ohio State, and Washington. Those, if you can win one of those 3, I think you're going to be doing great.
Well, that would get them to 4-2 if they beat Iowa State.
They're going to beat Iowa State. They're going to beat Iowa State.
No, they're not.
But not to be mean, but it's, I mean, and just and not.
It could be a long year.
Yeah,
names.
I mean, there's so many different question marks with that.
Well, I'll get to that in a moment. But I mean, if for Iowa, they get to 4-2, they could have a very good season because they after their 3 non-conference games at Michigan, that's a winnable game because Michigan's not very good offensively.
And it's a new year, new coach. It still worries me that that's going to be his first game in the big house. And that's a good football coach, and they got talent. But I do think that might be the most winnable of the 3 games.
Yeah, then they get Ohio State in Kinnick. That's going to be tough.
They're so good.
Yeah, and
that offensive line was great last year, and I think they returned 4 of the 5.
And Iowa's still going to be, they've still got that quarterback issue. That I think if they lose to Iowa State, it's going to be because the quarterback play. And Phil Parker's got to rebuild that defense.
Anytime you say Phil Parker in defense, I'm okay.
I know, but I know he's great.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not, but he's going to have to do a little restoration work with the defense.
Yeah, and the defensive line's got some question marks.
Yeah, and their offensive line also, I think, has a few question marks.
I mean, the fact that they lost so many, you'd think it would. But man, I mean, you have Cade Pieper and you've got
and Ferentz knows how to coach offensive line.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be fine.
And then that trip to Washington, it's a Friday night in Seattle.
They don't win on the West Coast.
Washington's and Washington's always tough at Husky Stadium. It's a Friday night. Weird things happen out in Seattle. I mean, that could be a that
tough game.
And it will be the week after the Ohio State game. So obviously, trap game. I think it's the week before bye.
Yep.
So I mean, I would not be shocked. The nation might go, "Oh, they lost to Washington." I mean,
I think Washington's good,
and Washington's good,
yeah.
and that game's going to be really tough for Iowa. I mean, here's the thing: Iowa could upset Ohio State, and then lose to Washington, and it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
If Hawkeye fans would be jumping, ready to jump off the top of they don't have the water tower anymore. And then their the rest of their home games are winnable after that, but their 3 road games are the ones that at Minnesota, that's for Floyd.
We own
I know, but
we own PJ.
I know, but row your boat. Well, wait, unless he's got 18 players on the field with the referees.
Yeah. Unless there's a fair catch that was a fair catch.
Yeah, Cooper. This is a fair catch, folks.
I like
not this.
I like the brain stacking. I would love. Go on.
No, I'm just being truthful. Then they're at Northwestern. Northwestern's going to give them fits.
Yeah, they always do. And no pun intended, because Fitz isn't there. But go on.
Right, and then it's the Matt Randazzo Bowl at
Iowa, Illinois.
They need to make that needs to be a trophy game for Iowa, Illinois.
Like
Matt Randazzo.
It's funny because we talked about it on talked about it on this show, and then we talked about it on the Hawkeye Report podcast the other night. We taped it with Tommy, and we mentioned it. And the person who started this was actually Zach Johnson. During COVID, we did a podcast with Zach, and he mentioned, hey, he's like, when we got done, we were all done and everything. He's like, Dazzle, were you an Illini fan? And that was one of the meanest things anybody has said to me. And I was like, no, I'm not. Why? And he's like, well, you seem to know a lot about the Illini. I'm like, well, I'm in the Quad Cities. I got to cover both. I know when I got to be an unbiased member and do both. And so we kind of laughed, and all of those things kind of started. And so we talked on the show about Dazzle's Illini and those type of things. And sure enough, we got a text message just last night, cake or night, from Zach saying he was laughing his butt off and everything. It's always Dazzle's Illini. So, it's a difficult game, but I think Illinois is down this year.
Illinois will be down. They lost Luca Altmaier. They got a transfer quarterback. And
people can say the same thing about Iowa.
Right. And
Mark Gronowski's gone. They have a quarterback you don't know about.
And Bielema is a very good coach. Yep. He's underrated. I think he's an underrated good coach.
Have you polished off your resume to send it to Ames, or is there a chance that you're the new AD?
Can I finish with the Iowa-Illinois thing? Iowa-Illinois is a great basketball rivalry, but it's not a very good football rivalry. And here's the thing.
They just don't play anymore.
Well, in 1952.
Oh, geez.
Iowa played Illinois at Kinnick. Well, it was that in Iowa Stadium. Tommy O'Connell was the Illinois quarterback. He set the Big Ten record for completions, attempts, and yards in a Big Ten game. They slaughtered the Hawks 33-0. Forrest Evashevsky was ticked off at the referees. There were numerous skirmishes. There was a fight where players got ejected. So now the Illinois team is going to the locker room. As they're going to the locker room, fans are throwing anything not bolted down at the refs and at the Illini. Rotten produce, picnic baskets, bottles. If it wasn't bolted down, it was being thrown.
Yeah.
They get towards the locker room, and an Iowa student grabs one of the Illinois players, and the Illinois player turns and just jacks him right in the jaw, busts the guy's jaw. They had to carry the kid over to the University Hospital across the street. And the Big Ten's like...
I love how you tell the story like you were there in 1952.
The Big Ten was so upset with how bad the rivalry had gotten, how toxic the rivalry had gotten. They said, that's it, we're done. They didn't play again till 1967. I think they didn't play in Kinnick. They didn't play in Iowa State because it was in Kinnick till 1968. It was Kinnick in 72.
I'll agree. I mean, I understand what you're saying. The fan bases don't like each other, and it's still Iowa versus Illinois. But the basketball rivalry,
basketball's strong.
Yeah, and obviously this year playing in the Elite Eight and going to the Final Four, and so I understand it. And the fact that the Iowa Illinois when's the last time they played football? It's been 3 years. I mean, that's just the thing that's weird. And
well, here's the thing with basketball. This year's Elite Eight game was the biggest game that these two teams have played against each other since 1956.
What was 1956?
1956, first Saturday in March. There was like 2 games left in the Big Ten season. Winner goes to the NCAA. Loser, there was no chance for this loser to go to the NCAA because they only took one team.
Yeah.
They're playing. They're tied for the lead. Game is nationally televised on CBS at the Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse was packed, and Iowa beat the brakes off them by about 20.
Only Brian Stocking knows these things. Have you polished off your Iowa State resume?
Is there
a chance?
There's not a chance.
Were you surprised by it, and where do you go?
I would not even if somebody asked me, should I take that job? I would say no.
You would not be good with that job.
I would
You don't adapt well with change.
No, and I don't.
And I don't think Jamie Pollard did a great job adapting with the change.
And I would tell people who would be thinking about taking the job not to take it. Jamie Pollard's got Iowa State's got 11 and a half months to find someone, because Pollard said, I'll stay till either the replacement's put in or until June 30th, whichever comes first, I'm out. Iowa State has financial issues. The Cedar Rapids Gazette said they are going to lose 20 to 25 million every year athletically into the next decade.
How do you sustain? I mean, that's not sustainable.
And the other thing is, then you're looking, and the Cedar Rapids Gazette, I'm quoting the Gazette, said that Iowa State's going to lose anywhere from 125 to 150 million in the next 6 years. I think this is the start, year 1. So I mean, it's not sustainable. You can't get much more money out of the donors. You're going to start pushing away season ticket holders who, I mean, season tickets are through the roof in Ames. I mean, when I was a freshman in 1993, to buy 6 games.
That's 33 years ago. Go on.
It was $36 for a season ticket, for a student season ticket. This year, for 2 season tickets for me and Mother Stockpile, it's almost $1,400.
But it's also 33 years. I agree, it's getting too expensive. I say that, but like comparing it to 93 is probably not the best example.
Well, but
so I kind of half joked that like Stockpile become a Hawkeye fan because in 10 years, big picture wise, it's concerning.
It's very concerning. There's going to be another round of realignment coming in 2030, 2031. Who knows if the Big 12 is going to survive, or if it has to merge with the ACC, or into some sort of American Athletic Conference, because I think that's where Iowa State might end up if it's sort of like, you remember the old game of perfection, right? The board game perfection, where you dump everything and it pops up. If Iowa State pops out of the box, they might be ending up in the American. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. It also depends on if the Big Ten expands to 20 or 24 teams. I've heard Stanford and Cal in the Big Ten, which I don't see happening because they are not academically competitive. People joke about Northwestern being academic and not being athletically competitive. Cal and Stanford are probably below Northwestern.
Yeah, but I think they could survive. It wouldn't be great, but they want to survive rather than not have a place to go.
Well, so it's going to be interesting to see. But Iowa State also has 3 very big issues that have been reported or not been reported very well. The closing of the gymnastics program. February 1st.
Well, it's been a bad year for Iowa State.
February 1st.
Winning-wise, they've done fine, but...
February 1st, they played on ESPN2 in women's gymnastics against the University of Denver. On national television, they were on against the University of Denver. And within a month, they're being canceled because they can't get, because there wasn't a good relationship between the coaches and the players. Well, then you either can the coach or tell the players, all right, we're taking your scholarship and we're getting new kids in.
Yeah.
You don't cancel a program. I think Jamie Pollard said that they were losing money, so I think that's why Pollard pulled the plug. Pollard added women's
it's always
wrestling.
about money.
Huh?
It's always about money.
He did add women's wrestling,
which is probably going to be more profitable.
Yes, but you don't. If you were going to cancel sport, because sports have been canceled before at Iowa State, you let them finish the year, and then
that's number one. No, it's number
well,
two.
here's the other thing: the coach, according to something I read last night, was a used car salesman. It's like perfect example. We got a lemon, and we got someone who knows how to sell lemons for a living.
There you go.
Number 2, and this is something that hasn't been very well reported. You know who the number 1 team in cross country was last year? Men's cross country?
Iowa State.
But they fell completely off. They suspended half their team. They suspended most of their starters for the Nutty Comb Invitational. We have not heard who those starters are. They have ideas because it's like, oh, these guys were doing real well, and then they didn't appear at the Nutty Comb. They didn't appear in the Big 12 or the NCAAs. Iowa State has not released who they are. They've not released the length of the suspension. All they've said is they broke team rules, the nebulous team rules, and we don't know why. In cross country and track circles, it's being reported that the reason they were suspended was for use of EPO, performance enhancing drugs. Which, if that's the case, that is that's not just something that's the university takes care of it. This is something that the NCAA might be saying, hey, we need to really start testing everybody.
Yeah.
Because like somebody said, well, it's okay because every other school does it. They just got caught because someone ratted them out. That's not the point. And Jamie Pollard is a cross country guy. His son was a cross country runner at Iowa State, maybe one of the top cross country runners ever at Iowa State. And to say, oh well, this is all right,
but that's not just so I don't get in trouble. That's not confirmed.
I'm not saying I didn't say it was confirmed.
I got you.
I gave where I got it from.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is the Sci-Town White Elephant. That thing is I'm sorry. I know Jamie Pollard put out a thing saying, well, we were touring this hotel. And all this.
September 2nd, they're breaking ground.
Yeah, they said they would be done by 2027. The only thing they've got in there is the McFarland Clinic, which they said is going to have 800 patients a day. I don't know how accurate that is. Plus, they got this auditorium that's going to be an open-air auditorium. I'm sorry. No one's going to sit in an open-air auditorium in Ames in November, December, January, February. I went to Iowa State. those were the worst months. I mean, walk to class was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying out in an amphitheater listening to someone.
Yeah, the Sci-Town thing is weird to me.
I'm not even sure. I love Frank Sinatra. I love Dean Martin. I love Don Rickles' comedy. I'm not sitting out in an amphitheater if they were coming to Ames. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They said they're going to be restaurants and hotels, and I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to revitalize the Iowa State Center. The Iowa State Center, when it was built in the late 60s, was supposed to be an economic engine for Ames and Iowa State. They built the Sheeman Auditorium. C.Y. Stevens, I think C.Y. Stevens had the first event there. It was I think the New York Philharmonic concert was there for like 5 nights. Fisher Theater, then they built Hilton in 71, they built the stadium in 75. So, but now they're trying to do it with all this, they're talking retail space. I'm like, brick and mortar isn't there. And this is not cap on Jamie Pollard Day. I'm not capping on Jamie Pollard. Is he a great AD? He's a good AD. Iowa State's had a very good run of ADs. Yeah. They had, it started with Clyde Williams, then Uncle Charlie Mauser. Then they had Max Sherrick, who signed Johnny Orr. And then the greatest athletic director was the one that was when I was there, Gene Smith. Gene Smith, 3 straight years, hired a big name coach. The first one he hired was Tim Floyd. When Johnny retired, he signed Tim Floyd from New Orleans. Floyd had us in a Sweet 16. We were 16 points out of UCLA at the under 12 timeout in the regional semi. And I will tell you this: we win that game, we're going to the national championship.
Yeah,
because Minnesota played a double overtime game against Clemson. They were toast. I think we would beat Kentucky because they didn't have Jamal Mashburn. Now we would have played Arizona, and Arizona had, of course, Lute Olson, and Lute always owned us at Iowa.
Yeah,
and he probably would have owned us. And he probably would have owned us at Arizona. My mom loved Lute Olson. She thought he was cute and handsome. We probably would have lost to Arizona, but So Tim Floyd, great coach. Then the next year, after Jim Walden, who just passed, when O-Town won, we fired Walden, hired Dan McCarney. Smith stuck with McCarney when maybe a lot of ADs would have not.
Yeah.
And Mac proved
he's a good dude. I got to meet him this year. He's something.
Mac took us to 3 straight bowl games, which had not been done before. After a down year where Mac did the hard thing, we had a kid, our starting quarterback, got busted over the 4th of July for drinking and driving. Mac could have been, that was Texas. Mac didn't make any excuses. He said no. He busted the kid down to be like the 3rd string to the bottom of the list. He had to work his way back up, and we went 2-10. We didn't have a quarterback. And this kid was going to be the quarterback because he had backed up Seneca. And Mac didn't bat an eye. He said, "Hey, he broke a team rule, busted him down to the lowest run. So you want to be quarterback again? You got to earn your way." And then the next 2 years, we were 1 win away. We were in the final game, overtime. We win. We're the Big 12 North champs. Go to the Big 12 championship game. Lost both games in overtime on field goals.
Your memory is amazing.
And then the next year, he hired a guy the only program that did not have a coach change in the Pollard era of 22 years, Bill Fennelly, women's basketball.
Yeah, gosh, it's been that.
So
He's been there for a while.
That Gene Smith hired those 3 coaches, all icons of Iowa State. That's where I put him ahead of Pollard. Pollard's done some very good things. He's been a supporter of Iowa State. He never jammed Iowa State up for, if you don't pay me, I've got a job in, wherever. He was loyal to the university, and I appreciate that. I applaud his loan service to Iowa State. But
Brian Stocking, next AD. Come on.
But maybe his expiration date was a few years back.
I think the changes in college sports are really. And we saw it recently with the tailgate tour and the taking teams to task and those kind of things.
And the NIL stuff.
You went
Matt
so
Campbell.
You went so long on Iowa State that you have no time for NFL.
Well, no, I think the Lions will win the North.
We have time all of a sudden.
But I think they will lose to Matthew Stafford in the divisional round. I think this is going to be Matthew Stafford's final year. They're going to get to the Super Bowl, but they're going to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I like the Bengals. I don't know if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Joe Burrow has said that it's either this year or bust in Cincinnati. For Zach Taylor, it's this year or bust.
Zach Taylor, definitely.
Jamal Chase's top receiver, T. Higgins. He's got all his guys back. They're all healthy.
Just the defense. You got to figure out how to stop people.
But
he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy.
He's got to stay healthy.
He can talk all the talk he wants, but the reason why they don't do well is because he's hurt all the time.
Right, but you know who the backup is?
Doesn't matter.
Joe Flacco. So
Doesn't matter, though.
But, I mean, if you're going to have a backup, Joe Flacco's not the worst.
If Joe Burrow goes down,
they're going to be in trouble.
That's what I love when, like, Lions fans get all crazy about who's the backup going to be. I get it, but it doesn't matter. Now, I get it if you want to have somebody there that can maybe win you a game if he's out for a game or two. But if you lose any of your starting quarterbacks, most of the quarterbacks in the NFL, if you lose them for the season, you might as well start looking ahead to next year.
And Jared Goff has been very durable.
Thank you. And underrated. Do you have presents for me?
Yes, I do.
I didn't even tell him to bring presents.
The first one is from Mama Stockpile.
I bet I know what this is.
Well, you will. You might.
I love how it's the Christmas paper, too.
Yep.
Christmas in July for Dazzo. Mother Stockpile. These are my favorites. They're staying right up here. They're staying away from the cookies and cream. The
Keep away from the kids.
The absolute best.
And then this is for me. And Mother Stockpile.
I think I might know what this is.
You might have an idea.
I think it's a really good call stock if it is what I think it is. And no Iowa State person has given me one yet.
Yeah,
it'll get up there.
Jake Bren keeps never sent you one. I know I love Jake Bren's commentary, but he hasn't sent you. He said he was going to send you one and never did.
I will click this and send this to Jake to let him know that we officially have an Iowa State helmet.
It's got to be out. You got to put it with your.
You do know there's a lot of Iowa fans watching this that are very cranky with me. That I put that up here.
But you have an Illini. You have you have Central Michigan.
Got the off the air one.
Yep.
I got Central. The Central Michigan came from Matt Drinkle.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out a way to get out of there. But this will be up on the show tomorrow right away when we start. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
That's good. I love that. Hey, thanks for coming over.
No problem. It's the old school helmet because I think they're going back to the Sinado, the old.
I thought they really liked it. Don't they usually like to wear black and with the eye and then come out the back? No, that's in Nebraska.
Yeah, and Jimmy Rogers. I watched. I love CBS Sports, college football. I love the way they present is just tremendous. I love the way they present. So last year I was watching Washington State, Oregon State before I knew who even Jimmy Rogers was.
Look at that, popped right out.
And they played Oregon State. Oregon State was a terrible team. They lost to Oregon State 10-7. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like going, and then all of a sudden, I'll tell you this honest to God, and Iowa fans might love this. When Pollard announced that who they were hiring, Jimmy Rogers, I go, oh my God, they hired the Iowa quarterback from the early 90s.
Matt Rogers.
Well, I thought it was Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, they hired the quarterback from Iowa from the early 90s. I'm like going, and then it's like, no, he was at Washington. I'm like going, Walden was from Iowa State. That didn't go well for Jim.
Yeah.
And, Jim Walden just passed a few weeks ago. I got to meet him. I got to interview him twice at Iowa State.
Oh, cool.
First was for the Bomb Yearbook. And that was the last year of the Bomb Yearbook. I wonder why.
Yeah.
And then I did a report for my English class again about how bad AstroTurf was. Now he didn't have to do a second interview on that. I was just a college nobody, a freshman nobody, but he took the time to allow me to interview him. It was like an hour interview. He talked and he discussed AstroTurf and he was very forthright with his answers, and he didn't have to do that. I mean, a Big 8 conference coach talking to a freshman nobody, for a dopey English
You're
paper.
You're never a nobody. You're Brian Stocking.
I know, but
what do you think? How's it look?
I like it.
That's a good look.
For a freshman English paper, I mean, he didn't have to do that, and he did. And the thing at Iowa State was, what hurt him was Iowa State had Coach Jim Kreiner, and Jim Kreiner got his hands caught in the NCAA cookie jar, but good with recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when the NCAA actually had enforcement power. And when your NCAA was coming to your town, you hid under the bed and pulled over the covers and fretted to death. And Iowa State got nailed. We fired Kreiner, and that allowed us to be bowl eligible and stay on TV. Because one guy told Iowa State after it got done, had you not fired Kreiner, we would have taken you off of TV, which would have meant no Iowa State game, and we would have banned you from bowls. But we did get we got nailed on scholarship, and that was the time the scholarships went from 95 to 75. So we got nailed even further. Walden said we should have forfeited a game against Oklahoma because this was when they had Bosworth and Jamel Holloway.
Yeah.
They didn't even dress Bosworth for that game. They took Holloway out at halftime, and they won 56-3. But then Walden built us up, and this is something you can ask Jake Brenn, because see if he knows this. I don't know the answer. In 1990, Iowa State had a tremendous wide-open offense. The year before, they had lost to Oklahoma 43-40. They beat Oklahoma in Norman 33-31 with Chris Peterson having a big game. They played Iowa. Bob Utter was a freshman, true freshman. They go to Kinnick. No Chris Peterson, the quarterback. No Blaze Bryant, their star running back. They lose to Iowa, who went to the Rose Bowl that year, 45-35 in a great football game. So the next year, Jim Walden goes, we're going to the triple option. And my sophomore year, he goes OTA 1 because we had one tight end on campus. He got hurt in the preseason. Really can't run a triple option with no tight end. Yep. And I don't know why he went to that, because he was doing well. Fans were excited, and then he went from a wide open, we're going to throw, do all this, to the triple option, I guess because the weather was, he didn't like trying to throw the ball in cold weather.
I don't think Jake Brenn's going to know the answer to that. Brian Stocking doesn't know. Jake Brenn doesn't know.
Jake Brenn's pretty smart.
Oh, what was I going to say?
And he's probably watching this, and he's probably going,
I don't. Yeah, he may be. Well,
he might.
He's been on vacation. No, he's on vacation.
He'll watch on break.
Yeah, something like that. So, Stockpile, this has been a bunch of fun.
No problem.
Next time you're on, we're going to talk about why they should cancel the Cyhawk game.
That's going to happen, I think.
I know it's gonna. They should be.
No. 2027 is the last year for the contract. Usually by now they announce an extension, and I've not seen an extension, and I don't know with
I think
Pollard
there's a
leaving,
lot of ups and downs. There's a lot
Pollard
of
leaving.
A lot of to be determined. I think when it comes to that kind of stuff. Hey, thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Make sure you tell Mother Stockpile I said thank you. Mother Stockpile, thank you. I don't need to tell him to tell you. I can tell you right now. Don't forget that Stockpile will be part of View from the West kind of things. We have our View from the West kickoff party coming up on August 9th.
What time is that? Because I know last year it was...
Text Greg.
I know last year it was in the
It's
late...
the evening time.
It was like late
I think
afternoon.
It's going to be evening time. It'll be evening time.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to have lunch with Greg tomorrow. We'll figure that out. That's a good question. So
you should take the
that's
cameras.
coming up. That's coming up on August 9th. August 16th is the Western Big Six Coaches Banquet. That moves to the Stern Center this year.
Ooh.
So excited about that. I'll be emceeing that as well.
Snoop.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
That's his stomping.
You're too many good questions. And then also coming up August 14th, in the middle of all that, is the Iowa Football Media Day. We'll be doing our show up in Iowa City once again for the second straight year. So again, tomorrow on the show we have Frank Garza. Hopefully Tyler Tashman. I got to make sure I can line him up, but there's some stuff going on in Iowa City today, so a lot of information coming from that direction. And then, of course, we'll try to track down the winner of the Bettendorf-Pleasant Valley game tonight. Baseball-wise, winner goes to state. A great rivalry
that
here
game
in
is
the Quad
at
Cities as well.
PV at 7 o'clock.
PV, 7 o'clock. Get out there and enjoy it.
And you don't have to order your tickets online. You can buy them at the gate this year.
Look at that.
Also. So
Brian Stocking.
Trying to push it.
Thank you for doing that. Get yourself your own show. You should be doing this every day during the summertime. It's a couple buttons and that's it. Thanks so much for watching OTA. Here on a Wednesday. We'll be back for one more show this week tomorrow. We'll see you then.